Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitancy in your weight loss and maintenance. Today I'm going to give you some tips on how to avoid binge eating on Thanksgiving Day. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, Naturopathic Earth, my podcast, The Awakened Man, my books, and if you appreciate my content, there is a link for PayPal. Thanksgiving is here, and it can be a pitfall for people that are prone to binge eating. So I wanted to give some tips on how to avoid overeating. Now, I have an old an old article I wrote in Naturopathic Earth maybe 3 years ago, where I talked about how Thanksgiving is the most overrated holiday out of the big holidays. And why is that? Really, it's a glorified day to binge eat. And then you eat, and then what do you do the rest of the day? Watch TV. And even consumers know this intuitively, because now companies used to not start Black Friday until the morning before. Like when I was younger, it was the Friday morning. Then they moved it to midnight of Thanksgiving. Now they've moved it to Thanksgiving afternoon, because they know what we all know. Thanksgiving is a boring holiday. You binge eat and then you have nothing to do all day. So now the American pastime is to shop. Thanksgiving has no accoutrement, so unlike Halloween and Christmas that has lights and decorations and gifts and candy, Thanksgiving, what do you have? The cornucopia you put on the table? Who puts a cornucopia on a table? Thanksgiving's got nothing. It's got nothing. Well, you could say, well, Gregory, it's a day to give thanks. Well, every day is supposed to be a day to give thanks. You know, as a human being, as a Christian, as a Muslim, we're supposed to give gratitude to God every day. Either way, it can be a pitfall. So here's some tips. Number 1, fast. You should be fasting every day, to be honest. You should do a compressed eating window. I have 2 episodes on this topic. So, fast. Don't eat until the big meal. Now, some of you might find that hard, especially if you're not fasting. But I would tell you it's the best way to do it, because just by not eating breakfast and getting to lunch or early afternoon, you're reducing the amount of calories that you would otherwise be eating because you're not eating breakfast. Now, some would say you're going to overeat the Thanksgiving meal. You're probably going to overeat the Thanksgiving meal either way, because Thanksgiving is a glorified binge eating day. So let's be real. Let's call it what it is. So, for example, I fast daily till 3 o'clock. In the past, when I've gone with my family, when I'm recording this about a month ahead of Thanksgiving, I don't know where I'm going to be spending Thanksgiving. But most people tend to have their meal well, I guess it really depends. Some people like to have it at 1, some people have it at 3, some people have it in the evenings. Either way, don't eat breakfast. Don't eat breakfast. Number 2, I would tell you, drink a lot of water. Lots of times, hunger is really masquerading as thirst, and we are thirsty more than we are hungry. Also, drinking a lot of water is going to fill you up. So it's a nice little kind of like biohack so you don't overeat. Now, exercise, number 3. You're going to be eating a lot either way, and you should be exercising every day. We know the government says you should do at least, they say 150 minutes weekly on moderate exercise, which I think is a low number. But exercise in the morning. Wake up, go run, go lift weights, whatever you're doing, because you're going to eat a lot of calories, so you might as well start the day. So if you're fasting and you exercise, you're already starting off the day with negative 400 calories, because let's say you've burned 400 calories. You're already at negative 400 before you start eating. So drinking a lot of water, fasting, exercising, these are all things. Now when it comes to the actual meal, it really depends. Like for me, I don't like turkey. I think turkey is dry and overrated. Well, Gregory, you haven't had it cooked right. Okay, I've had it fried, I've had turduckens, I just don't like turkey. So when I was a fat kid, I would eat all the sides. The stuffing, the macaroni and cheese, all these things. But look at what's out there and look what's going to fill you up the most. So that being said, whatever the protein is, it's probably going to fill you up the most. So you should probably kind of gravitate toward the protein. Now, I would tell you, this isn't Golden Corral. So you don't need to get 4 servings of everything that you have, right? Just because it's Thanksgiving, and this is the most important takeaway of the episode, just because it's Thanksgiving doesn't mean you have to binge it. because you're likely going to have leftovers the next day and the next day and the next day. So why do you have to like have 4 servings of green bean casserole and macaroni and cheese and stuffing, and when you're probably going to be able to eat it the next day either way? So look at the Thanksgiving meal as just a regular meal. Have your turkey or whatever your family's doing, and have a little sample of all the different side dishes. Have a couple rolls of bread. That's fine. Maybe go for a second helping, especially the vegetables. And then have a slice of pumpkin pie or pecan pie, and that's it. I mean, just view it as a regular meal. View it as a regular meal, because you're going to have leftovers more often than not. It's not like, our Paleolithic ancestors that killed the saber-toothed tiger or killed the buffalo, like, oh, we need to eat all this because it's going to get bad. No, you're going to have food. We have refrigeration. After the meal, take a postprandial walk. Postprandial means post-meal. Go take a walk. I mean, if you're able to exercise after you after you eat, great, then don't do it before you work out. No, before you eat, I should say. Working out, lifting, all these things before you work out, before you eat, I should say, is going to speed up your metabolism while you're going into the meal. But doing a postprandial workout is going to help you with your blood sugar and your insulin and all that's coursing through your body. So I would tell you, probably do your strength training and cardio beforehand. That way your metabolism is revved up. But then after the meal, do take a nice long walk, maybe do some push-ups and planks and so forth. That way you can kind of keep the metabolism stoked at that point. I mean, if you're able to run or strength train after you eat a big meal, like Thanksgiving evening, good luck. But most of you guys are either going to be watching football, watching TV with your family, or shopping. So you're not really going to have time to work out. So I would tell you, work out before Thanksgiving, and then maybe take a walk, or while you're doing all your shopping, take a walk. Guys, those are my tips. The most important thing is, again, the food ain't going anywhere. So just have a regular serving of everything, a slice or two of pie, and that's it. Just treat it like a regular day. And remember, food isn't going to make you happy. If you have a disordered eating like I did as a child, you're using food to numb the pain. So every time you're going for the second and third servings, remember, the pain's still going to be there after you eat it, because the pain was there the day before, the pain was there a month before, the pain was there a year before. So make that cognitive connection before you delve into the food, like, this food's going to help me, this food's going to save me, this food's going to make me feel better. No, it won't. You know better. No, it won't. It's just going to make you feel sick. So eat in moderation. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Happy Thanksgiving. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.